What's the worst, well-intended romantic gesture a significant other ever did for you? Bonus question, how did you react? We were out walking our dog and strolled past some flowers. He picked one and tried to place it behind my ear. The problem was, he was also holding a bag of dog poop that was hitting against my face while he tried. That's adorable and awful all at once and I can't stop laughing now. My husband is such a goof, but sweet, but not what I'd call romantic. He's very practical, so instead of giving me Valentine's Day presents or flowers every year, he gets the oil changed in my car and leaves a note with a Valentine's theme. Sometimes it's a card if it's February that says, "Oil is changed, love you." First few years I was like seriously, now I swoon since I don't have to deal with the oil changed place. Edit, I just told him a comment about him being practical and not romantic got me 2464 karma. He asked me what karma was good for, that's my man. That's actually kinda cute. My first boyfriend gave me a wooden box with a padlock on it for Christmas one year, handed me the key and told me not to open it until I got home. I opened it and inside was a little jar of his blood, and a little jar of his tears. I was 17 and mortified. Also couldn't fathom how he got enough tears to fill a small jar, so I asked him. Turns out he'd plucked all his nose hairs and eyelashes to gather them. What the duck, this is the strangest thing I've ever heard. Probably just so that she could summon him on any solstice she wanted. I just read this and uncontrollably facepalmed at the last sentence. Oh my god. This is metal as hell. Just throw those jars in a horse's womb, add some sweat, a little sperm, baby, you got a homunculus going. That is horrifying. He plucked his eyelashes and didn't even make you a sweater out of them, that heathen. What the duck? In the beginning of our relationship, he went on a trip to Rome with his family. He brought back some shoes for me, a 6'1" woman. He was so excited when he handed over those, pretty nice, size 6 slippers. It was hard to break to him that I loved them, and I loved the gesture, but I am a giant and a size 10'5". Why did he just guess at your shoe size? I've found that men are surprisingly confident about guessing women's clothing sizes, and yet unsurprisingly they are usually very inaccurate in those guesses. I've written before about the guy who told me he wanted to date a size 2, which he clarified meant they'd be a little bit bigger than me, and I was a size 4 at the time. Just another example of confidence equals accuracy. He's trying to find his Cinderella. He gave me Milk Plus Honey by Rupi Kaur, and underlined the parts that applied to our relationship. Including the parts about how ducked up and unhealthy it was, and how we knew we needed to break up. For my birthday, he was confused when my reaction was just a lot of crying. I feel bad upvoting this, lol. So he wasn't my but a guy who asked me to junior prom. He shows up to my house with our mutual friend, and a sign with a bouquet of flowers, right? Except the sign is written in Hindi, which I speak, but can't read or write. After blankly staring, I recognized 2 of the characters and they were PM. It occurred to me that holy shit, that probably says prom. I say yes and whatnot, but as soon as he leaves, my mom goes, he spelled it wrong. Lol, she's such a hater. Edit. I did think it was very sweet. My mom is just sassy. And yes, I'm Indian by birth. He knows I speak, so it was a fairish assumption to think I read. I love lilacs. My date tried to drive up to a bush of them on my side of the car, while rolling down my window, and all of the branches just crashed through my open window, scratching me all over my face and arm. I looked messed up. He felt so bad. I laughed in the what the duck was that kind of way. Oh, I also didn't know that's what he was doing, so to me it was really what the duck? Lilac attack. My ex-boyfriend surprised me and took me ice skating at Rockefeller Center for Christmas once. It was a really sweet idea, but he had said we were going to a show, so I was not dressed warmly at all. I was wearing a dress, tights, and a lighter but formal jacket with no hat, gloves or scarf. I was so cold after we had been on the ice for about 20 minutes that my lips turned blue and we had to leave. The thought behind it was really cute, but it would have gone so much better if I had been dressed appropriately. Yes, you should always say if something is indoors or outdoors. For skating on an outdoor rink, I'd say something like, it'll be cold and you want to be able to move in your clothes. A lot of these remind me of a story my friend told me about her first Christmas as an engaged couple living together. She wanted a new winter coat for Christmas, like that's all she wanted. They were out shopping, and she found one she liked on sale and told him to get it and wrap it and be done with it. He was like, no, I don't want you to see me buying it, that ruins the fun, plus I bet I can find a better deal. Christmas comes and she opens her gift. It's a coat. Except, it's her old one. He tells her to look in the pocket. She's thinking maybe it's the receipt for a new one that's being shipped. Nope. $100. He's all excited that she can pick out exactly what she wants now. I bet he intended to buy her something else and then just never followed through, and this was his last ditch attempt to be like, I didn't completely fail to get you a gift. My dad is infamous for stuff like this. Ah yes, this household object represents the larger, real present that I just don't have yet. My husband did something similar. I like those oversized sweaters from Aritza, so he decided to get me one for Christmas. When I opened it up, it was the exact one I already have, probably just an oversight. He's not that observant sometimes. Except then he pipes up, I know you already have this one, so you can just return it and get whatever one you really want, thanks. For Christmas I am getting you a chore. I have a huge collection of cookie cutters because I love to bake. I kept them immaculately organized in small boxes, bags, etc. in the drawers of my kitchen island. Some had small pieces because there were things like snowflakes you cut multiple ways, some had tiny individual letters for stamping messages. I also really have a lot of other kitchen things because I love to cook. He texted me at the start of an 8-hour barista shift that he was reorganizing our kitchen as a surprise for me and getting everything consolidated. I remember freaking out and begging him to not do it, and he was like, no, it's good, I promise. It's too late. Don't worry. And then I got home and he had dumped all my cookie cutters into 2 huge reusable grocery bags, threw out any boxes or bags that were keeping sets and pieces together. So everything was loose and now impossible to find small bits. It was a huge disaster. I still think he threw out some actual cutters because almost 2 years later I still can't find some pieces. I cried for hours because I have been so careful over the years with my collection, and in one afternoon it all went to hell. Some of them got bent because they needed to be handled with care. He also emptied out some teas that were old, which had been favorites I ration for bad days, that aren't made anymore. I feel bad that I went a little crazy and cried, but he just doesn't get how much he screwed up my collection that I spent years building and keeping neat. This is painful to read. I'm so sorry that happened. I think your reaction was fair. Was he apologetic? I should probably have clarified that this happened pretty soon after we moved in together, and once he realized how badly he ducked up he felt horrible. He helped me reorganize it as best I could, but he just doesn't get why keeping the boxes was important. To his credit, in the 2.5 years we've been together he has never done anything else like this. He is the literal best partner in every other way. One of my Christmas gifts this year is actually going to be going to the Container Store together and getting some small boxes to reorganize everything finally. Oh no. Never reorganize someone else's kitchen. That's sacrilege. Can you please tell this to my mother-in-law, who still doesn't see any issues with reorganizing my kitchen when she comes to visit? Especially because she's a foot taller than me, I'm really short, and puts things I use all the time where I can't ducking reach them. My husband had told her so many times it's not okay, but if we leave her alone when she's visiting she tries to clean. It's already clean, damn it. I've been married 10 years, he knows not to touch my sewing corner. First year we were married he tried to clean up and threw out my scraps. No, that was a quilt I spent 16 hours cutting out and stacking in a specific pattern and order. I actually locked him out of our bedroom for a while that evening while I sobbed. In fairness, I was 10 weeks pregnant and the quilt was what I would decorate the nursery around. Some of that fabric I had for ages, specifically for this. He doesn't even look at my sewing stuff. He buys me Joanne fabric cards and sticks with dishes.